So I was just thinking, oh man, I should film a YouTube video. Okay, so I was gonna get all set up. I was gonna wear a proper shirt, pick a good background, all of this stuff. But the title of this video, as you guys already know, is doing what you're supposed to do. So I decided, you know what? I don't actually have to do anything specific in order to film a YouTube video. Because this episode is going to be all about, should you do what you're supposed to do, or should you just do? Should you just exist? So here we go. It's an interesting topic. My entire life, apart from the last 2 years, has been spent in school. So I graduated from university 2 years ago. And that entire time that I was at university, I was absolutely terrified that I was going to die while still at school, and that my obituary would say something like, yes, like young, promising child of God dies, before he gets his degree. And I was like, it was like a real fear of mine. And I would have like dreams about it and be like, like, can you imagine I spent my entire life in school not actually doing anything that I wanted to do? Scary stuff. And one of the reasons that I was in school is because I was told by everybody in my entire life that that's what you're supposed to do. We are told you're supposed to go to school. You're supposed to pay your dues. You're supposed to, have a shitty part-time job. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to get this. And for the longest time, I was an absolute people pleaser. To this day, still am, not as bad as it was, but I was very incredibly hesitant to do anything that I wasn't supposed to do. And I think it stifled me in many ways. I mean, I'm a university grad. I'm, accomplished in many areas that, because I listened to this advice, because I did what I was supposed to do, I do have some things in my life that are really good, right? Like I have achieved things that are really impressive and that I'm really proud of. But there is something to be said for breaking the mold, doing your own thing, making your own path, and nobody can really take that away from you, you know what I mean? So I think as with all of the philosophical things I talk about, it's going to be, the answer is almost always a little bit of this, a little bit of that, meet it in the middle, do your own thing. So if the topic of this video is doing what you're supposed to do, the answer is going to be a little bit yes, a little bit no, somewhere in the middle, do your own thing. Because there are going to be things that people in your life recommend you do. There are going to be things that they say, you really should do this. You should do this. You should go to the dentist every 6 months or whatever it is. I don't know what the advice is. You should, eat healthy, blah, blah, blah. Many of those things, perfect advice, really good, solid, builds your health, builds your wealth, builds your mindset. They're important, right? But there are going to be so many things in life that you're not supposed to do that are really good, that are potentially like very positive things in your life. And I can't really like list them because it'll be circumstantial. For some people, a certain situation will be really beneficial. For some, that same situation, not a good idea. Some of us meant to have kids, some of us are not meant to have kids. And that's just a thing, it's just a thing. And that can be applied to relationships or anything. But the main topic still exists. So I've talked about having mentors and people that you look up to and you respect and that you listen to for advice. And I guess this is kind of a continuation of that topic, because I think many mentors fall into this trap of trying to tell the person they're mentoring what to do. It's like, well, you should do this. You're supposed to do this. Whereas there's this really good quote, and I don't know who it's by, but it essentially says, the greatest teacher protects his students from his own influence. And basically what that means is you teach the person without indoctrinating the person. So the absolute goal would be that at the end of the lesson, at the end of the training and the teaching, the student knows the technique of whatever they're learning, understands the knowledge, but has their own wisdom and their own beliefs intact, you know? So you're not indoctrinating somebody into your political system or your ideology. You're simply giving them the skills and the tools that they need to become a great whatever teacher, doctor, lawyer, nurse, guru, meditation master, yoga teacher, whatever. Whatever you're teaching, hopefully that person will now go on to become a very good whatever it is without the ideology and the politics behind it, because everything is political. There isn't anything on this earth that couldn't become a political debate. And the reason I know that is because I have a TikTok channel, and every now and then there will be a huge debate in my comments that erupts over usually politics in the US. For some reason, it just, how dare you? And it'll be like 70 comments long, and there'll be people complaining about the weirdest things, like the electoral college in the American voting system. And I'm like, what? Like the video, like that makes no sense. Like, what the heck? So anyway, I digress, as you know I do. But that's the important factor of it is, if you are a mentor or a teacher, I think you should be careful about telling your students what they're supposed to do in anything. If it's something to do with technique, like if you're a doctor and you're teaching them how to do surgery and you're supposed to go through the rib cage, that's good advice. I don't want somebody going to do a heart surgery on me or something and trying to go through my spinal cord or something. So there are some technical things that need to be told, like you got to do it this way. However, when it comes to the political beliefs and the kind of ideology, maybe don't. You know what I mean? Maybe we just allow the students to develop their own innate wisdom, because that will probably create better doctors, teachers, lawyers, nurses, etc. than if you're just saying, well, you're supposed to do it this way. You're supposed to do it this way, and that really goes, I think that really goes especially for parents. I think parents are the number one culprits of, well, you're supposed to do this. It's like the idea of suppose presupposes that there is some sort of laid out path that you are supposed to follow, right? So when you say supposed to do this, you are implying that there is a path that must be followed, verbatim, in order to achieve such goals. And that doesn't exist. Every single person has their own unique journey. And you guys know I don't like using the word journey. However, every single person's life is unique and requires unique circumstances and events in order to achieve XYZ. And so to tell someone, you got to do it this way. No, no, I don't have to do it this way. And it also works completely the opposite, because when you tell someone that they have to do something some way, you might be like me, where as soon as somebody tells me that I have to do something a certain way, I immediately make it my eternal mission to achieve that goal through the exact opposite of what the person told me that I had to achieve it. Like, oh, you got to go up through here and, you'll get to the top of the mountain. And I'm just like, okay, hold my beer. And off I go into the wilderness, completely opposite of the path, just to prove a point, just to prove that, no, there is no gotta, supposed to do this, should do this. That doesn't exist. Life is unique and diverse, and every human is a little bit different. So I don't know. That is my thought for today. You're supposed to do it this way. Yeah, that just sets the hairs on the back of my neck on end. Even just hearing that, I'm like, no. I am the eternal disagreeer and contrarian and pedant. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'm interested to know. Apologies for not giving you a proper background with well lighting and everything. But I decided, hey, I can just do a video like this. It works. It kind of looks, it doesn't look awful, I don't think. Let me know if it looks awful. I'll never do this again, and I'll do like a proper situated tripod with nice backlighting and a good backdrop. But yes, I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching. Like always, please leave your comments. I'm very excited to read them, and I will talk to you tomorrow.